Elon Musk, who bought and paid for this presidency, who is controlling all of the power, including the president of the United States, is getting a nice return on his investment.
Last few months, Trump's Justice Department has dropped a case against Musk's rocket company SpaceX, and his Labor Department has canceled a planned civil rights review of his automaker, Tesla. Being in the orbit of Donald Trump, having forked over $250 million to get him elected, having gone into the government with a chainsaw at his direction and slashed and decimated agencies, all seems to have a back-end benefit for one Elon Musk.
Okay, here's another thing that drives me crazy about this. Remember when people in the very beginning of Doge started asking questions about conflicts of interest? Because, of course, there are huge conflicts of interest, which they don't care about ethics or morals. But Trump and the administration said, well, Elon Musk will determine if there are conflicts of interest. This man has gotten away scot-free with all of his corruption and violation and ignoring the law because he bought and paid for the Trump presidency.
Here's what I have to say to all of that is MAGA triple Trumpers. You're telling me you're down with a South African-born man who came to the United States on shaky visa rulings. I mean, it was not as clear-cut him getting over here. And then he begins to get government contracts, government subsidies, lies to everybody, says he invented Tesla, lies to everybody, says he invented SpaceX. We fund him to all of these contracts. His companies, like if you think about a lot of these billionaires that don't pay taxes, like Walmart, for example, all of those people make minimum wage. They're on food stamps, they're on Medicare, they're on all this stuff. But yet these billionaires don't pay taxes. So guess who subsidizes these billionaires not paying taxes? You do, MAGA. You pay it. If you're okay with this, then that's fine. Swing for the fences. I'm not okay with this. I think this is double dealing. I think this is embarrassing for the United States of America. I think we need to have accountability and transparency. And I think the government, no matter who's in office, because a lot of this happened, the subsidizing under Obama, we need to really vet these companies. If you're going to get government subsidies, the standards need to be even higher because American taxpayers work hard and we pay into our Social Security, we pay into our Medicaid. We want our planes to take off and land appropriately. We want our water to be clean. We want to eat chicken without salmonella. Maybe the triple Trumpers don't want that shit, and that's fine. And you'd rather Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all of these assholes not pay taxes. But some of us are able to cut through owning MAGA and actually give a shit about public safety. This is embarrassing.
Well, I just wonder, when you say MAGA, are you okay with this? If Elon Musk were a black or brown man, it would be a completely different narrative.
Totally.
But moving forward, okay, so Trump, even though we know Elon Musk owns him and he really can't get rid of him, he takes back slaps at him. And so yesterday he was talking about how the fat shot didn't work for Elon. Now he's doubling down on the plane about Elon and the fat shot.
The story today was well received. A friend of mine who's slightly overweight, to put it mildly, went to a drugstore in London and he was able to get one of the fat shots. I call it the fat shot, the jabs that you lose weight.
A lot of people laugh at that. Some people get offended by I don't get offended by anything.
I'm just glad I didn't use his name. He's actually a very rich guy. He's a very successful guy.
He's glad you didn't use his name.
No, he's very happy. Yeah. He knows exactly who I was talking about. He called and said it was interesting. He said he was very concerned that I might use his name. It might slip. No, he doesn't have to worry. But
okay, first of all, I find it remarkable, having seen Sean Hannity in person at the DNC several times, that he and Donald Trump, who we have all seen his physique and his golf clothes, that they would sit there and be laughing and making fun of somebody trying to lose weight because both of these men are Humpty Dumpty. I mean, it's just unbelievable that the president of the United States and his chief propagandist are running around laughing about people taking the fat shot when each of them are at least 50 pounds overweight.
But that's their whole MO. That's their whole political brand. Trump and Fox and Hannity is belittle and make fun of people. So this is just right on brand. Furthermore, Trump looks in the mirror and he sees, late 1990s Brad Pitt looking back at him. I mean, it's just delusions of grandeur of the highest order. He rigs every golf tournament he plays in, and then everybody tells him he's hot, he's great, and all this stuff. So he lives, and I'm like, these people are cuckoo. So of course they make fun of Elon for being fat. Of course they don't have any sense of self-awareness about that. Every Fox News clip I see, Jesse Waters sitting there talking about, you got to be masculine, you can't suck out of a straw, you can't do, girly things. And he fucking dyes his hair. Come on. And so that whole thing surprises me zero. I just think it's hilarious. The funnier part is that he's throwing shade at Elon for wanting to take Ozempic. That's the best part of it. That he's being so passive aggressive about it. That's the part I'm here for.
Well, and Elon's got him by the balls, so he can't do anything. And how about, he doesn't want me to say his name in public. It's like, dude, you're not hiding it. Anyway, let's move forward to the blatant corruption of the new palace in the sky, a $400 million plane from Qatar. And we have Newsmax. Even Newsmax is saying, we got to take a beat on this. And if you lose Newsmax, who is far right of Fox, this is a bad idea. I'm just going to guess.
What do you think of accepting this gift?
I really don't like this. I gotta say, it makes me really uncomfortable. And it's not just that, this is not a gift. This is Qatar, a state sponsor of terror that has Hamas in the palm of its hand, giving a bribe. And I don't think President Trump would capitulate to anything that they asked him to. But that doesn't mean that it's not below the appearance of a conflict of interest. And I'll just say one more thing. Watching how quickly the Qataris were able to get Idan Alexander released, obviously, I'm so grateful to God and so grateful to President Trump for.
Okay, enough. Once we get grateful to God and Trump, I can't listen anymore. But it's a bribe. It's a bribe, people. It's not a gift. It's a bribe. It's for Trump because he wants more, and he wants to give them political favors using the office of the United States to enrich himself. It's a bribe 101.
Well, and I read an article this morning, Pumps, that in order to retrofit it to be Air Force One, it's like close to $1 billion, like $750 million or something. And it would take years to do it, according to aviation experts. But that to me is just this is like a microcosm and a perfect example of all of MAGA. It's a very short-sighted thing. I get this plane. Oh shit, I can't take the gift. So I'm going to say it's a gift to America so I can tell the rubes, hey, I'd be a dumbass if I didn't take it. Who doesn't take a free plane? And they're like, he's so smart. He's getting a free plane from the terrorists. And then, what he's going to do is he's going to have the United States government do all of this work on it. And then he's gifting it back to himself because let's face it, the Trump Force One that he had before was kind of a POS. He's never really liked his plane that much. The Air Force One, there was a clip of him talking about, when we pull up to these airports, everybody else's planes are so great. And our plane is old and our plane just doesn't look as good as theirs. So the new one, it's going to be painted red, white, and blue, which all the MAGA cultists, when they see, and I guarantee you, they will float and somebody will round table this and say, let's do an image of you. And it's the homoerotic of Trump on the side of Air Force One, because that shit hits so hard in the MAGA Twitterverse. They love that shit. Big planes, big America, big muscles, all to compensate for the fact that they don't have big dicks. That's what this whole thing is. And of course, it's a bribe. Of course, he doesn't want to hang out with the people who stand up for integrity or decency because he can't relate to that. These are his people. These people that fund terrorists, these are his people. He has more in common with them than he does any of the Western leaders.
I completely agree with that. And we have some Republicans speaking out on it, which they have to congressionally approve this gift receipt. My guess is they will. They might make little comments, but they're not going to go against Trump. But here we have Senate Majority Leader on the subject.
All we know about that, I think, at this point, I've said this before and I believe it's true. I don't think there's anything official out there. This is a hypothetical. And I'm sure that if and when there is, it's no longer a hypothetical. I can assure you there will be plenty of scrutiny of whatever that arrangement might look like.
Okay. Here's
what does that even mean? I mean, what did he
There's
even
plenty
just say?
of scrutiny. Why don't we just say we're not going to vote against him and we're happy to let him go around in a national security nightmare because we don't want the MAGA base to turn on us. And they haven't gotten the irony that they're national security freaks, rah-rah pro-military, and we're getting a plane from people that fund terrorism. Like, they're not smart enough to put two and two together.
I mean, that guy, number one, MAGA Republican men are the biggest bunch of pussies. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable. And I saw the senator from our state, big Jesus guy, James Lankford, standing right behind, who was wound up like a cheap clock over 9/11, as we all were. Very upsetting, egregious, horrible attack. These Middle Eastern countries hate America for a multitude of reasons, but one of the crown jewel of those reasons is because of our support of Israel. And interestingly, that has kind of just dipped a little bit in the news cycle is Trump snubbed Benjamin Netanyahu and went straight over to all of these places. Now, I'm no Benjamin Netanyahu fan. I think he is a war criminal. I think what he is doing in Palestine and Gaza is horrific, egregious human rights violations. I think it's destabilizing everything. But the interesting case in this, and something to watch, is these Middle Eastern countries had a lot more to offer Trump than Benjamin Netanyahu does. And they knew how to play him. They knew how to get him off the Israel thing and get them on our side. But to think that they have American interest and women being able to wear sleeveless shirts like we all are today, these countries, or journalists being able to sit and criticize them like you and I are today, and people being able to watch this type of dissent like you and I are today, to think that these countries and their leaders are for that is a fool's errand of the highest order. But Trump doesn't care about that because he himself would like to silence dissent, and he himself would like to kill off journalists or imprison them. And he said it. He has said it. And knowing that Pee Wee German is really running the DOJ and Pam Bondi's just a dipshit puppet, which we kind of suspected.
Right.
This is really dangerous shit, Pumps. I mean, I'm just like, what the fuck? It's really... I mean, we go through these whole episodes, and the end of it, I'm just like, this is crazy. Is anybody going to stop this? Well sure. The answer, Toon isn't. Senator Toon, what a dipshit, weak ass person.
Langford's not. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-blowing. Every day it gets crazier. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like, and we will see you next time.